Hello, FPL managers. You are welcome to another edition of your favorite FPL show, the FPL Ambassadors show. And in fact, I'm super elated and glad for such a very wonderful season. It's been quite tough. The longest FPL season we've had. No, I think the COVID season was longer, but this is longer because Charlie, we had to go and check. Some of our partners, Charlie, are here. Then I come talk about Messi. We had to go and watch the World Cup whereby Messi was crowned the GOAT. I know the zero guys will fight me. I'm a Madrid guy, so when I say Messi is the GOAT, Madrid guys don't fight me. We all understand the dynamics. We all said that the one who win the World Cup was the GOAT, and the one has won it. So the fact is very clear. But Charlie, it's been a very, very long FPL season from August all through now. And today I have the FPL professor himself in our midst. He has been yearning to be on our show. Today we have Professor Akoto in our midst. The Prof, how are you? And how has FPL been for a while now?
Yes, I've been good, really. You know, during the summer, I remember very vividly, I was waiting anxiously for the start of the season, and I just couldn't wait. I was almost on tenterhooks every day, asking myself, when is FPL official going to drop the prices of the players and all of that?
I
I
tell you,
remember when
fanatics,
City
FPL
signed
fanatics.
Haaland, we were all contemplating how much are they going to, price him at, if you cast your
Okay.
mind back right through the summer to the very time to the very first game week of the season,
Sure.
we're all actually living in anticipation. Um, a day will not pass without you checking their Twitter handle to check
Sure.
if peradventure they had dropped the prices of the players. And so
Mhm.
here we are, just at the very tail end of the whole season,
Of the
and we are
whole
looking
season.
forward to the very penultimate, the
Pe-
very last round of matches
the
for the
last
season.
round of matches, and we can't wait. Seriously, watch. My co-host Roland will tell you that me, I'm FPL great since 1957. In fact, no, since 1844, born of 1844.
The
Because he'll
bond of
tell you that
1844.
yes, he'll tell you that when everybody's going on FPL break, that is when I am now changing gears to FPL break.
Mhm.
During international break, Roland will go for 1.5 week international break. During that 1.5 week international break, you will see that I am rather thinking about Charlie how FPL will go for the next 5 weeks, how how to plan our next show, how to even do a show within international break. Roland will say, no, I said, Madam Master. Now we are, the funny thing is that you see, because we are somebody say we are a small brand as of now. What we are trying to do is that we are trying to do different shows so that people can get interested. And the more we build the subscribers. Even though we have not been able to hit enough of our subscriber target for this, we wanted to hit 1,000 subscribers. We not even hit 500 yet. But the fact of the matter, we are not perturbed. We know we are doing quality content, and we know that
Yes.
the more we do and we are consistent with it, those that are is helping are the guys who will bring the other guys on board. But you know the very funny
Mhm.
thing about boys,
No,
boys
unless
are
you tell me.
keeping the content to themselves. They don't
Yeah.
want others to know it because they know we are sharing the correct report. So instead of them to
Mhm.
share for their friends to know so that they will grow, they are keeping it to themselves and they are winning their millions.
you know, you know, funny enough, that's actually, it's sad, but that's the reality. Okay, on the ground, and I think that you're not far from the truth.
Mhm.
But elsewhere in other jurisdictions where I've lived in the UK and Europe,
Sure,
that is not the spirit over there, especially in
sure,
India and all that. So if you look at the
sure,
YouTube content creators, like you can talk
sure.
about, let's talk FPL Andy,
Yeah,
FPL Mate, that's Dan, FPL
yeah,
Raptor,
yeah,
FPL Pra,
yeah. FPL
and a host of
Wire,
them. You understand?
Fantasy
FPL
Football Scout.
Salah
Sure.
and all
Yeah,
of that. You see,
sure.
they are very forthcoming. They
Yeah,
are willing to trade off ideas and to share,
sure,
and
sure.
it will surprise you that when you go to the UK, all right,
Yeah,
where I have
yeah,
actually lived,
sure.
they have a mini league for the content creators,
Yeah,
okay, that
yeah,
they play
yeah,
among themselves. And
sure.
although they are competing among themselves, but they are not also, they don't hide information from one another. They
Spot on,
easily share
spot on,
information and all of that,
spot on.
data, statistics, and everything. And
Sure.
and I think it's fun. It adds up to it, the fun
Yeah,
of it and everything. But for us,
yes.
when you know something is
Where
coming,
we
that
are, everybody's
at
trying to hide it so
our
that he
part
has
of
the
the room, we
advantage.
want to hide information because we want to get ahead. But that's not how it works.
No, is
Sometimes
it?
we need to. So guys, if you are watching this show,
Let's share it.
the
Share
FPL
it.
Ambassador show,
Share it.
let's share it to our
Share
brethren.
it.
Let them
Share
also
it.
get to hear the good work that okay,
The-
this is
the-
where you can hear your perform. You know, it's sizzling and it's nice when people get to know that okay, you are sharing from the same material and yet you still beat them to it. You
you beat
understand?
them to it. That's the
Exactly.
class. That's the
That's
I
the
always
class.
tell boy that now what I do is I will tell you what I'll do, but I'll beat you because I
Yes.
believe my team is so good that I can still beat
Mhm.
you. So
Exactly.
and you see, people should learn. I know that in our part of the world, in the Africa and stuff like that, most of it we think that you always want to be the champion among your groups. But I tell
Yeah.
boys that me what after I conquered Ghana in 2020, my
Mhm.
attention is no longer Ghana. My attention is worldwide. And
Yeah.
my attention to conquer worldwide, I realized that no, I can't conquer worldwide alone. I need to conquer it with my team of Ghanaian guys who are very good. Because if you check the top 10 countries in the world, and FPL wise, I mean rank wise,
Mhm.
quality wise, Egypt is the only African country among the top 10 wise.
That's
Africa is
true.
Ghana is among the top 15 countries
Mhm.
population wise, but we are
Mhm.
not among the top 10 content, I mean rank wise. So the
Yeah.
goal of this FPL Ambassador show is to raise Ghana to be among the top 10 countries rank wise. I mean class wise, so that anytime they mention FPL, we know that Ghana is a doing of FPL. That's my goal number one. And number two, I want that in the next 5 years, I said after I won my FPL, then we will have a Ghanaian win. If not then, but at least we want to see Ghanaians being mentioned consistently. And one of these
Mhm.
days, we might see a Ghanaian be on the main FPL show. And that's these are when it happens, like we are all happy because Charlie, we can all see that this is one of our own. But
Exactly.
in Ghana,
You
it's
know,
always like, yeah,
really, let me just interject you here. In
sure,
fact, I like your drive, okay,
sure,
and I think I kind of resonate well with what you've said, and I'm of the same opinion in the sense that last season the
mhm,
one who won the one who won the worldwide
yeah, USA,
FPL
Pigot,
manager,
James
yes,
Pigot,
he was from the US. All right,
yeah,
good. Now up until the very last day you had a lot of the one in second place was actually an Indian. They were
Indian,
just
yeah,
neck to neck,
the
and you had
FPL
the whole of
wire guys
India,
were all supporting him,
supporting that gentleman.
yeah,
He
yeah,
was actually a young lad, maybe I think 18, 19 years or something like that. He's a
spot on,
teenager.
yeah,
You understand?
yeah,
He's not even in his 20s yet. And you
sure,
could tell that the whole of the India were actually in support of him. All right. Just as
yeah,
you are actually going to organize this meetup where
yeah, yeah,
on Sunday. I think a
yeah,
similar thing of a sort was also organized in India last
yeah,
season on the very last day.
yeah,
And it's a good deal because when we actually ramp up each other and ramp up the support and then we help one another out, would actually help to project and put Ghana on the map. And who knows,
spot
one
on.
day we'll see ourselves,
One of
granting
us.
interviews and all that. Exactly.
Yes, you see, there's one thing I think Gary R. Smith said when Partey moved to England. There were
Okay.
calls that Partey shouldn't have moved to England, should have stayed at Atletico, the Bruja and stuff. And this is what Gary R. Smith said. Gary R. Smith said, "Watch, he does not mind, even if it's a Sankwas player in Ghana that goes to the EPL, as long as one Sankwas, I'm just saying quotes, one player
Yes.
from Ghana goes to the EPL will definitely have to do some review, some Ghanaian journalists, and it gives them a plus. So if they
Yes.
want anything about Partey or Ayu, they might want a Ghanaian to do the research and background stuff, and they'll definitely contact them. So the fact is, as long as one of our own is winning, it pulls us all of us together, and that is why we all want to do this together. And in fact, seriously, what has actually been pushing me is guys are actually pushing me. That is what has been keeping me moving because actually, since I won Ghana in 2020, 2021, 2022, my FPL seasons have been quite very bad. But guys, Charlie, no worry, you are giving us what is good. It was more or less like I do the good things for the boys, but then me, my own does not go. Sometimes you don't have to get disturbed. But the part
but
number,
but
let's
don't get distracted. Don't get perturbed. Keep pushing. You understand? Definitely, you will reap the rewards. It won't
sure,
come easy. You will face
sure,
challenges. Okay,
sure,
you meet it
sure,
attend challenges, but don't be perturbed. Keep
sure.
surmounting those challenges, and the sky is the limit.
Element. So, boys, so we want to say this. We have been planning to do this. When Price came on our show, I want Gameweek 23, 2024. And in fact, I want to say this, Sally. Thumbs up to Price. I contacted a lot of FPL content creators worldwide, and some were able to contact, but their timing was not good for them. But Price, when he had it, so wonderful. He was just ready to come, and he was ready to, and we were hosted a whole prize of the burning questions FPL Scout, Fantasy Scout, and FPL show on our show this year. This has been that's one of our greatest achievements this year. To be able to have prize on our show, and it's really, really good. And then Price reminded us about the FPL meet that's been very frequent in the UK. He's already said, and we are doing one in Ghana. We told the guys that we'll do it, but challenges have come our way, and finally want to do it in Gameweek 38, the best game
yes,
of the season. So, boys,
I can't wait.
Charlie. Sunday there is special. We are meeting at the Benitez Pub at North Kaneshie, Accra. We are all coming. My wife is even coming. Charlie, boys, you should come with their wives and their girlfriends. Everybody. So my wife says, and their side chicks as well. Please don't come with your side chick. We don't want any marital issues. But the fact is that we are doing it for managers, and the timing is that anywhere from 2 o'clock to 5:30. Just come. It's free. Just come. Just buy some drinks. Sit down. And what we want boys to know that we want to register, guys. So you just my number is down there. Just give me a DM me. Just I want to say we know the number, because we need to do a reservation for the number that is, so that they can reserve a special area for us. We're trying to see if we can even do a live stream of it also, because it's a very. In fact, I want to tell boys, Charlie, me the plans I have for FPL. But I want in this preseason, I want to do a documentary of FPL growth in Ghana, and I want to use the FPL Ghana meets. I'll go and meet the FPL big guys. City FM where the guys will match. So I'm going to see the City FM guys as well. And then we make a documentary. I'll meet managers, normal fans across the country. And then, so, Charlie, it's something big we are doing. And don't worry, my surprise, maybe what we'll do might be featured by FPL, their main FPL show, something like that. So, boys, we want to see everybody. We know you watch the game, but let's come, let's watch. This one is free. Just come and buy some drinks, buy some watch it, buy some something. Sometimes you can even buy for boys, Charlie. And it will be very, very wonderful then. So that is just for it as well. I think we spent so much time on today's introduction, but we cannot finish the introduction without playing the video of our sponsor. You know our FPL league. Boys are surprised that we said we are giving 1,000 Ghana. I think, but Charlie, we are serious about what we do. We believe that FPL boys invest a lot in it. It's a very tactical game. You know what? Because of FPL, now I understand football better. I understand the tactics and the stuff, and that we are managers. It's not just for just choosing players. So now we decided last year we gave 1,000 Ghana cedis to Neo Sebanama. Charlie, the guy took the money, he vanished. We didn't see him cry. He vanished. 1,000. Hey, Charlie, he didn't come and say hi, but at least we gave it to him, and boys, so we give it to him. But we hosted him. I think I gave him 25. He just came to tell us that Charlie, he enjoyed the money, and this is going to be. But Charlie's not winning it. That's a sad thing per se. But this year, 1,000 Ghana cedis, you have a sponsor who is giving us 500 Ghana cedis of that amount of money. So we are going to play the sponsor video, and then we'll move straight to today's show as well. So let's watch the sponsors video.
All right.
Okay, so reverse engineering services, borehole, anything engineering. Charlie, just contact them. They are giving us 500 Ghana cedis. We're looking to have more sponsors. In fact, boys are saying, let's see, we are looking to even do awards for maybe manager of the week, manager of the month. So if anybody has some jerseys, just sponsor up. Charlie, let's grow together as a brand, and let's see. Charlie, but Gameweek 37, just tell me, how was it? How was it, Charlie? Me, it didn't go well for me because of the Rashford boys and the United boys. I don't have a United player, but Charlie, how was it?
In fact, Game 37, I was actually cruising. I was enjoying my ride. Actually, I had a very good score, chilling out, and then enjoying the fact that things were going well for me. As I was watching yesterday's game, especially United game against Chelsea. I was hoping against hope that Bruno Fernandes will not score. And so when you were, by the way, viewers, I'm a Manchester United fan. Sometimes FPL can make you even support even your enemies, your rivals. Just because you want your rival player to score, at the same time you wish their team would lose, that kind of thing. But in this case, I wanted my team to win, but I didn't want certain players to score. You understand?
Okay. Okay.
And so for me, I would say that I had just a green arrow, but it was
Okay.
just a slight green arrow because
Okay.
in fact it was a very should I say a quantum jab green before prior to Fernandez and then
Fernandez
Rashford
and Rashford spoiling the
messing up.
party.
And
Ha
then
ha ha ha.
what also didn't actually go well for me was De Gea conceding. That
Last
run
minute.
from
Ha ha ha.
Felix. Okay,
Yeah, okay.
how Felix right from midfield, when he had that best of run on that counter when he received the ball from I think Hall, and then
Mm.
he took on the United defense, and then he just laid that ground
Made
shots.
that
In fact,
grandson.
as the ball fizzled and then actually hit the net, eh, I just screamed in not in ecstasy,
Ha ha
but
ha
rather
ha
in
ha.
madness. Because I wanted the defenders to close him down because I knew that was what João Felix was going to do.
Ha ha ha
Once
ha ha.
he got the ball, he was running at the defense and they were all pulling back, they were all going back and all that. That guy was not going to pass that ball. He was going to hit the ball as hard as he could on the target. So I was like,
Mm.
close him down, don't give him the chance to for him
You
to
are
strike.
sitting in Ghana and controlling the
I
players
know,
in the
right?
match.
I was sitting behind my TV, watching the thing on Super Sport on this, and I was like, close it down. And then before I could say Jack, the guy had hit the ball, and then he was at the back of the net, and I screamed, and my wife was even like, "What? What the heck
What?
is happening?"
She doesn't know. She doesn't know
You
what
know,
we go through.
I know, right? And it was really painful because it wiped that clean sheet. Not only did it
So,
wipe the clean sheet off, I think the gear was on. If I'm not mistaken, he was on how do you call it, some bonus points or
bonus
something
point
like
as
that.
well. Sure.
Exactly, and so that also was scrapped off and all
Describe
that.
that.
And
No way.
so apart
But
from the 4 saves that he made, which means that evidently he will get just 1 point.
one bonus for
So he ended up
they need to stop that. They need to make it two saves. Why three saves? Ah,
exactly. They need to
we
make
did
it 2 saves.
two saves. I'm not three saves.
Yeah, at least when you get four saves
Eh,
from a goalkeeper, you get 2 points.
Sam Kwashi, why are you laughing? Sam Kwashi,
But
what
you
did I
know,
see that?
the most annoying thing is when your
Okay, okay.
goalkeeper gets 5 saves and just gets 1 point. That's
Oh,
even worse off than
it is
anything
more
because
annoying.
you wish that he would have made an
Just one
extra save,
extra one.
one extra one
Some
to get.
players should have just hit some shots for him to just push it somewhere.
And I think I'm sure we'll talk about this maybe in a review session
Sure,
or
sure,
something
sure,
going
sure,
forward.
sure,
One of the
sure,
things I'd really wish to recommend to official FPL to do next season is actually to review the points that they give to usually defensive midfielders. I think
sure.
they have
Yeah,
to,
yeah, yeah, yes.
have
Something for
take
them.
a very good look of
Yes.
DMs and then center backs and all of
Clearances,
that, and then the
interceptions, and
scores that they
then
give to one
tackles.
another because they
Just
can't
like how the
actually
goalkeepers are
put
getting saves.
DMs or CDMs in the same category as offensive midfielders, like the
Sure,
Mo
sure.
Salahs and everything like that.
It's true. The,
They
the
should
game has advanced. The game has advanced because Ali
exactly.
Kante is Kante because of his defenses.
Yes.
It's not because of any other thing. So if a
Yeah.
whole Kante can be Kante, then people should really see. But I think everything aside, as Renew Your Mind TV, Sam Kwashi is my colleague from work. He said like Haaland missed the game, which I think Haaland there. Who say it? Pep, don't worry. We'll just keep quiet. Let's move on. I don't want to go back in the past, but my key point is that Brighton Willis is moving very badly because of they've had so many double game weeks in a period of time. So managers just take it chill. Don't blame the Zerbi. Okay, but me, I'm looking to Brighton next season. Next season, I want João Pedro in my team. I've already bought him into my team before we get there. Then the new player, me them turn the class and they do. But it's all good, and we are ready for the final week of the season. So now let's move on. Now this week is an all play all. Now, fact is, I want to say something. Now normally when it comes to game week 38, it's been properly proven that game week 38 always gives us those kind of scores whereby we have scores of players and people scoring outrageous scores from teams hardly do we get team clean sheets and stuff like that. So now the point is that this week you should be very careful. It's a very tough scenario, but the fact of the matter is that there will be goals galore. For the past 8 seasons, always the game with 8 scores have always in the last ten seasons has always been more than the average scores in the season, except for just one season. So it means most likely the goals be
Mm-hmm.
this week. If it goes
Uh-huh.
this if you are buying players, the focus should mainly be the attackers. And
Yes,
then
definitely.
this is also when you should try a differential captain. If you are chasing somebody in your mini league and you have maybe a 20-point gap, the only way you can beat him is not by captaining the same Haaland he will captain the
Mm-hmm.
different players, so that just in case Haaland blanks, up and home. This one it is get rich or die trying. As 50 said it. You have to take the risk or you die. If you want to play safe, you then be play safe, he will pass you. If you want to take the risk,
Yeah.
either to go south or to go north. And this is the most risky
Mm-hmm.
and the nicest game we could get as well. So managers, let's all share the ideas. As Prof said, it's all about how we bounce off the ideas of each other, and then we'll see how it goes as well. So Prof, are we good to
Yes.
go? Okay, good. So what you're going to
Yes, we
do
are
is
good to
that
go. So
today what you're just going to pick the teams one by one. Some teams they are some class teams,
yeah,
yeah, but I will just try and look at the teams, mention one or two key players, and
sure.
managers. And then Obi notebook and then notebook and then throw a screen. So Obi notebook. Get if you're watching the video replay, get a paper, get pen and write it and see the key players and list it down, and then we are good to go. So good. So Arsenal Wolves, who are the key players
Yes,
you think
before
that?
before we take the teams one by one, the fixtures. Okay, good.
Okay,
I want to sound out a few how do you call it, notes to managers who are watching us live right now. That like if you've already said or intimated, usually game week 38, the last game week of every season, actually tends to produce myriad of goals. And so if you are going to buy any assets, unless it is very critical, where probably maybe on your subs bench for your defenders, maybe you only are left with 2 options of or less than 3 that you can't fill the minimum of the 3 required. You don't have to make any transfers in defense. All right, you can
okay,
just let it go. Except if you still have by miraculous means, you still have a chip as
okay,
an
okay.
be it free hit or wild card or whatever it
Or
is.
wild card or triple
Having said
captain.
that, the other thing that I would also probably alert managers is that go for players that you think that can actually produce the goods. So you should be looking at offensive midfielders, all right, or
Okay,
attacking midfielders, and as
okay,
well as strikers or forwards. Okay, and I think that will
sure.
help in that course because you
Okay.
should be looking at goals, 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 goals. And like you said, you don't have to necessarily captain the very same old Haaland that we've all been captaining all through the season, except if probably you are on top of your mini league and you want to play it safe. You don't want to maybe probably jeopardize your position unless you're on top and you want to play it safe. Then in that case, probably you can go that route. If not, take a hit. Make sure that you do the unimaginable. If you far, you far. If you know far, you know far. That's
You know far. Uh-huh. That is
yes,
it. If you know far as well.
exactly.
Sure, God, spot on. So I think let's look at captaincy straight up. I think the
Okay.
captaincy debate has already started in the chat area, and boys are
Mhm.
already worrying us. So the captaincy, there's been the point about Salah. So
Yeah.
Salah captaincy. Renew your mind is that some questions. Some questions say that he's going to have Salah captain against Southampton, and
You
then
know
some.
what?
I'm here.
Since the beginning of this FPL season, all right, I would want to say that this particular week is one of the fewest game weeks where we've had a plethora of options for captaincy choices. All right. Other than that, most of the season has actually been just a straightforward Haaland, Ellen Haaland,
Sure,
Ellen Haaland,
sure,
Ellen Haaland.
sure.
But this particular game week offers us with a variety, okay, of other choices. You can be spoiled for choices. You know that definitely Bruno Fernandes would play for Manchester United come what may. He's actually been very instrumental. He's played almost every single minute of all
Seriously.
the big matches so far, thus far.
Sure.
And I don't think that Ten Hag, though he has qualified for the Champions League, I don't think that he would rest him for
No,
the game against.
Ten Hag has said that they have a history to that. I don't know the exact history, but I think when they win, it will give them a certain history. I mean, some record. So he
Yeah.
wants to really keep to the standard as well. So he's going to play his full strength team. So
At least
Bruno,
he'll begin
Bruno
with a
Rashford,
strength card, and
sure,
probably as and when they're winning the game, then he'll start taking off some of his
yeah,
most prized
yeah,
assets in
yeah,
in
yeah.
in in, in anticipation for Saturday's next week's FA Cup final against
FA
Man
Cup
City.
final as well. Sure, spot
Yes,
on. So
Salah, Mo Salah.
okay,
Mo Salah is also a shout. All right, a captaincy
okay,
shout. In previous years, in previous seasons, prior to Haaland coming into the EPL, the
okay.
obvious pick would have been Mo Salah.
Ha ha
No doubt
ha.
about that. Mo Salah,
Okay.
Mo Salah, Mo
Momo,
Salah. But
Momo.
this
Okay.
now it looks like Haaland has usurped Salah's, kinship, right, in the EPL,
Okay.
and it's good for the game. We may never be able to tell who will be next,
Who be
next season.
next? Sure,
And so,
sure.
during the captaincy choice, we could have Ellen Haaland. That if you want to still play it
Okay.
safe, assuming you are on top of your mini leagues, and then you
Okay.
don't want to probably go against whatever it
Sure.
is. Or
Sure.
you could go the Mo Salah, because Southampton are actually, although it's an away
Relegated.
fixture, but
Sure.
Southampton they are playing for nothing basically,
Sure. Sure.
unless probably they want to sign off from the Premiership with a win and give
Okay.
their fans something to cheer about. But
Okay.
whatever the case may be, you know that Liverpool will definitely score. Okay,
Sure.
and if they are going to score, you can also trust that there's a certain Mohamed Salah who will be at the center of it all. Now you can also have a look at Bruno Fernandez, like I've already mentioned. And then
Okay.
when you go through some of the fixtures, you have some very juicy fixtures. We are not
Sure.
taking particular attention. We are not paying particular attention to Arsenal versus Wolves.
That
Everybody
game
seems
is.
to have shut out their minds to any team
If I, if I,
simply
if I,
because of the
if I,
disappointment.
if I, I think that the captaincy for this week is so wide that I'm sure when we go through it, more ideas will come. So as you see,
Yeah.
so the four main top guys,
Mhm.
Hema captain Ellen Haaland, Salah, Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, plus
Yes.
one or two other guys. These are the
Yes.
form guys these are the four proven guys you can take this week, and then Harry Kane. So
Mhm.
as you go to the fixtures, I'm sure the audience, our top FPL managers in the audience also bring up some ideas. So let's go. So Arsenal versus Wolves, who
Yes.
do you think are the key players there?
Yeah, so the key players to look out for here are, you can target Arsenal. Arsenal is playing home, so you can target probably a defender or their goalkeeper if you so wish. Like I said earlier on, that if it requires you to actually do a transfer for a defender, it so happens that, because the beauty of it is that, because of this because of it being the last fixture in the season, so we will have all the teams playing concurrently at the same time. All
So
right, so we would have transfer news trickling in and out and all of that.
yeah,
Yes, and let me just chip in this. When I was giving the advice to managers, I actually forgot this.
sure.
Let us also note that at least have a semblance of your draft team, okay, down, because on that very day, there's the likelihood that probably the site might crash, and
Yes.
so ensure that at least whatever it takes, don't hold on for far too late,
Too long.
so that the site doesn't crash, and then you get price out of doing your transfers, doing changes that you have to do and all that. At least if there are three changes you want to do, or three transfers, make two of them. All right, and set your team. Let the captaincy be on whom you want it to be on, and the vice
Default. Like,
versa.
just in
All
case
this
it
out.
crashes, the captain is still on
Exactly.
the
Like if it
captain.
crashes,
Then
you know
last
that
minute, you
your
cannot come to
captaincy
change
and
it.
vice captaincy and all those things are sorted out. Not that you are now coming to
Oh.
cry and all that. Hey, I forgot and all that deadline and all that. The thing has the site has crashed and everything. Now for Arsenal, the asset you could look for in their forward, you could look at Saka, Bukayo
Mhm,
Saka, Martin
mhm,
Odegaard, and then one of the players that I would say who has gone a little bit under the radar and he's so lowly owned by
mhm.
managers worldwide is Trossard.
Trossard, Leandro Trossard.
Leandro
Sure.
Trossard. He can be your differential pick. All
Mm.
right. So if you want to go by way of differential, you think that Arsenal would win against Wolves, you can go with any of their midfielders, Trossard, or even Gabriel Jesus.
Okay.
If you want to look
Okay.
at their defenders, probably you could take a look at Ben White or Gabriel Magalhaes.
Okay.
But I don't
Sure.
think you should go there. So those are the
Yes.
those are the assets I would say
Please.
that you
We,
could have a
we
look.
won't buy
I
any
wouldn't
player
advise
for
anyone,
Wolves.
any manager to actually go in looking at Wolves' asset because they are
We
going
won't, we,
away.
we won't buy. It's not
Arsenal will want to
not
sign
yeah talk rampo. Even
him.
if FPL dash has an extra transfer to buy Wolves, we won't buy. So Wolves fans, we salute you. You are staying in the Premiership next season. We'll see you. Diego Costa, we salute you. I'm buying
Yeah,
the player from Wolves. But as you have said, the key players are there. You see, this is the week whereby you do the difference. As you said, Saka, Trossard, and then
and then
Odegaard.
Odegaard,
Odegaard,
yes,
yes.
yes,
Jesus, depending on how your team is, you can find a way around it as well. Charlie,
yeah.
today guys are here. Everybody's so happy, Charlie. Like a marathon, yeah, just about it. And everybody's so happy. You know, I want to give a very massive shout out to Evans and Palmbin. He's the guy who got our venue for us. So at the point, I nearly gave up on the FPL bin, but
Let me
Charlie,
give shout out to Evans and I. You know, Evans ignite the
yes,
fire. Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
next season, we are
Yeah,
igniting the
yeah,
fire.
yeah, yeah,
We
yeah,
are
yeah,
coming
yeah.
right after you.
Yes, sure. And then our FPL class prefect. This is our second full season, and our FPL class prefect called Matthews GH. He has been on he has not even missed one show before. Even the day that he will miss, he will come and comment in the video, the replay video. And he said this Charlie, it pains him so much that he is not at the FPL meet this because he's at Blue Water for. So this guy, he likes chilling. He's a chilling father. Charlie is chilling, Rob. He has some foreigners here. I had to take them around. So, but he says he'll try and connect to us by Thomas. So, Charlie, Matthew, shout out. In fact, I want this opportunity to say we salute all of you for being. If we cannot do anything without you, we cannot do anything without you. And you are the guys that are keeping us moving. You know, funny enough, this season we had challenges being able to, but by God's grace and the support from guys, even the time we took a break, they were reminding us to come back, and by God's grace, we are back. And next season, third seasons are glorious. Like Morino's third seasons are always second season and third seasons are the glorious seasons. So next season, Charlie, watch out. Next season, they are more Charlie, they are and just small cry. But Charlie, hey Matthew, I'm not a Liverpool fan. But the fact is that I have
I said
biases towards
Matthew is making
Liverpool.
some allegations.
My bias towards Liverpool because of Fernando El Nino Torres. Anybody who going to GSTS, Ghana Secretary Council, Takari knows that in 2009, I was the only guy jobbing at Torres as the best striker in the world. And everybody like, how? I like, look at the way the guy plays. So people know me to be a Torres guy. So, but I'm a pure Madridista anytime. But because of FPL and Salah, and my number one on my FPL team for the past 5 seasons is Trent Alexander-Arnold. I don't care if they can make him 9 million, I'll buy him. So that is why I'm in the Liverpool just, and I'm captaining Salah. So Matthew is all for good omen. Salah for do something for us. He's not about anything as well. So let's go to Aston Villa and Brighton. The Brighton roulette is too much. It's making it quite difficult to choose. But Aston Villa, do you think Watkins is somebody we should really, because the defense, that game will be a goal scoring game. So the defense, no. But do you think Watkins is the guy? Those who have him, should they still keep him? I'm supposed to have sold him, or should people go and buy him this week? Or you think that there's no upside with Watkins?
This is one of the games that you can never know what to expect out of it, because it could go either ways. All right. And I'll not be surprised if it is a high scoring fixture at the end of the game. It could go like maybe a 2-2, 3-2, 4-2, you know, that kind of thing. Or maybe probably one team can actually how do you call it? Just bash the other. Like go like a 4-0, 4-1, 5-1, like how Everton surprisingly, you know, went away to Amex Stadium to beat Brighton 5-1. So I am banking my hopes on Aston Villa to just nip this one, because of you know, just in recent times, Brighton have had to play a lot of games.
So many games.
They've had fixture overload, so because of that, there's been rotation in and out and everything. I expect Roberto De Serbi, after the draw against Man City on Wednesday, to still rotate out his team, because now they have qualified for Europe for the very first time in their history, in their club history. This is their very first qualification into Europe. And so I expect him to probably give more chances, more playing time to some French side squad players who would come into the fray. And so I expect Villa. Villa has also, one thing that we've also not taken note of is the fact that since Unai Emery's appointment, Villa had considered just one goal at home. All right.
Wow.
Over the past 6 or 7 games that they have played
Wow.
in recent times, the last 6 or 7 games that they have played, they have just considered just one. And that one just came in the recent game against Spurs at
Okay.
home. All right. That game, I was so cocksure that I even played Minks as against Hurricanes on full project. And it cost me so much
Oh,
because I benched Hardcore Estupinian, who had 17
okay.
points after playing the first game against
Sorry.
Arsenal. You
Yeah,
remember
sorry.
that
Yeah,
fixture?
sorry.
That
Yeah,
was one
sorry.
of
Yeah,
my
sorry.
low points.
Yeah,
We'll talk
sorry.
about the highs and lows of the season. Anyway, so for the assets that you can actually target here, you can target Watkins, you can target somebody like, let's say, Jacob Ramsey,
Okay.
McGinn, or
Okay. Bailey.
Luis. Luis. You can also target somebody like Minks.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I just realized that
Mm-hmm.
Moreno is
Yeah,
actually
Alex
out.
Moreno is injured. Yes,
Alex Moreno is actually
yes,
out.
he confirmed
All
it.
right.
He confirmed it for
So
us.
if you're going to probably go for a lateral defender, then probably the one I would recommend would be Lucas Dean.
Okay,
Lucas
good.
Digne, all right, the
Okay,
French
okay,
left back.
okay.
So, and then also, if you will, probably you want to take a punt on goalkeeping, you can go for, the world, World Cup winner in
World Cup winner teasing goalkeeper,
in
trolling
Martinez.
goalkeeper in Martinez.
In Martinez, the World Cup
Okay,
winning goalkeeper in Martinez.
sure,
So
sure, sure.
yes, so if you want to focus on the Villa assets, then Watkins is a good shout out.
Okay.
Jacob Ramsey, Douglas Lewis,
Mhm.
John McGinn.
Okay,
Those are the
good.
assets I would
So,
recommend.
the point is funny enough. In game week 38, anything can happen. You find out
Exactly.
Watkins with them, McGinn will score 2 goals. So this is the game of your guts. If your guts tell you buy McGinn over Watkins, buy him. But these are the guys who most likely might be involved in the goals. So I mentioned all from the pool for you to decide on. As for the Brighton
Exactly.
players, we know yeah, can't want them. Moonim, right? If you all have plenty and see
Because you can
so.
never tell. You go and buy Brighton asset and that player will be benched. Unless probably you want to play the waiting game and
The
make sure that,
waiting.
okay, you get the team news.
Oh wow,
The team news of
the
right
server will
early
crash.
team news before the
The
deadline,
server will
which
crash.
is exactly, the site might crash and it will crash on you.
So
So
you,
if you want
the
to make
ones
your
you have,
decision
keep
between now
them.
and then,
The Brighton players you have, keep them. If you want to sell,
exactly, keep
sell.
those Brighton
Don't
players if you
and
have
don't
them.
wait for any
If you
stuff
don't
like
have
that.
them,
But
don't waste your time.
sure, sure,
Just get
sure, sure.
different assets.
Evans, we'll come to Leeds. Rodrigo is really there. We'll come there. We need to talk about him. Okay, don't worry about that. As also, Brentford, Man City. Charlie
Yes.
Mbuemo. This Mbuemo guy, is it the new Tony or
So
Charlie?
this is
No,
one game I'm actually honestly think.
wait, Prof. Sorry to
All
interrupt you.
right. Okay.
Sam Kwashi,
In Buemo.
Mr. Mbuemo, come and talk. My colleague at work, Sam Kwashi, almost for the past 2 seasons, every time he has Mbuemo in his team. And you know the very funny, the one Mbuemo scored the goals this week, I said, oh, he sold him like 3 weeks ago. Guys, oh, continue,
You
continue.
know, Mbuemo is a big true. Okay, for me,
Sure,
he's just
sure.
like Zaha for me personally this season. All right. During the times that I buy him, I transfer him into my team.
Okay,
He just blanks. All right.
okay.
But when you transfer him out, that is when he produces the goods. And I must confess that he has actually stepped up to the plate and lived up
Sure,
to expectation after
sure. Tony's man,
how do you call it, the ban of their
Ivan
striker
Tony.
and captain
Yeah,
Ivan Tony.
yeah.
And in those two, the last two games, game week 36 and game week 37, Imbuemo
Mm.
has scored braces in each of them. So
That's
he's
spot
had
on.
4 goals in 2 games, and I think either 1 or 2 assists.
Okay, yeah, one assist, I think so. Yeah,
1 assist actually. Yes, good.
yeah,
So I'll not be surprised. Brentford can finish. They've also. I'm sure they're also fighting to qualify for European places. All right,
yeah,
and
yeah.
this is a home fixture for them against the champions City. So I'll not be surprised if they beat City. They can actually
They,
score.
if in fact they are the only team that has beaten City at Etihad this season, the
Yes,
whole of Europe.
they are the only team who stand a chance of beating City home and away.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. And so let's see what pans out. I see goals in this one too. Definitely, Man City will not go without scoring. They'll score. City will score. Brentford will also score.
How do you see the City team? Do you think Pep will play his full 11 in preparation for the FA Cup, and then he will sub the
Yes,
players at
Pep,
halftime.
Pep, Pep has gone on the record to say that he would want his players to be match fit to for
Okay,
the rhythm to be there for them.
okay,
All right. So what I see him doing is that he will start off with a very good 11, starting 11,
okay,
and
okay,
probably start them off midway into the game, maybe from the
okay,
60th minute or
okay,
even after first
okay,
half and all of that.
okay.
Depending on probably how the dynamics of the
The
game
dynamics of the game will
goes.
go
So
as well.
I
So
see him
so
starting Haaland. He could start Haaland, both Haaland and say Alvarez.
so spoke today. Pep is very funny. This is the only time Pep has said something. He said that he will play his full line. I said, Pep. So for the first 37 games, you never give us concrete. This is the only thing you're giving us concrete information. Pep, we leave him. Let's move. Let's skip Pep. Let's go to Chelsea and then Newcastle. Chelsea, please don't go and buy any Chelsea player.
As
Let's
for
go to
Chelsea,
Newcastle.
let me give shout out to
Okay.
them. Of all our Bonkele Chelsea fans. Sorry. Even
I'm
even
okay.
yes, all our Bonkele Chelsea fans, please sorry. Even if you no matter how well you support your club, please and please don't buy Chelsea assets. Otherwise, you'll be disappointed.
Big
We don't want
disappointment.
any casualties. We don't want to whisk people away in an ambulance that we want to medical care. We want to come them, have fun, and then
Okay.
enjoy the moment. Okay. So
Okay.
if you don't own any Chelsea assets, please stay clear of them. All right.
Newcastle.
However, if you happen to have Kepa Arrizabalaga and
So you
you
can keep
fancy
him.
that because Chelsea are playing at home, they will keep a clean sheet against a
Like,
Newcastle
don't
side
keep a clean sheet,
who would
but
want
he'll
to
give you
who
still
would want to
points.
cement their place because they also, although they know that they are fourth, they have the realistic chance of moving up a notch higher.
Sure.
Okay, because if they should win and United should lose against Fulham at home, Newcastle will be third. All right,
The highest
So
finish in a while.
or even if they win and United draw, based on the goal
Sure.
difference, they have a better
They overcome.
goal
Sure.
difference ratio.
Spot on.
So they'll be having that in mind. So there's no way Chelsea is going to keep clean sheet. So I'll say
Okay.
that if you have an alternative goalkeeper, use him instead of Kepa.
Okay.
Don't
Newcastle.
target Chelsea assets. However, if you want to target Newcastle assets, you have Ivan Tony. Isak has been disappointing, especially if Tony plays in number 9. You wouldn't
Callum
want to go
Wilson.
for
Callum
Isak.
Wilson. You
Sorry,
mean Callum Wilson?
sorry, Callum Wilson.
Yes.
I had
Okay.
Wilson in my mind, but I was mentioning Tony. Yeah, Callum Wilson. If Wilson starts as the main striker, you can place your bet on him that he will be the guy to score, and so you can target him. If you already have Isak in your team, I'll say keep him. All right, that's
Okay.
if you're not looking to do any probably moves at your forward line or whatever it is, or you don't
Okay.
have any better
Okay.
alternatives.
Should
Um,
people play Trippier this week?
yes, depending on probably your team setup.
Okay.
If you have we have subsequent fixtures, okay, that probably
Sure.
I would
We'll
recommend some
move to
people
okay.
as well.
Sure.
So
Okay. Okay.
depending
Sure.
on your team setup,
Okay.
like I said earlier, if you have a scenario where, let's say, you have a Luke Shaw in your team,
Okay. Okay.
all right, and you are not also confident that Brighton will keep a clean sheet against Aston Villa away, all right, at the
Okay.
Villa Park. So if
Mhm.
that is the case, then your safest bet is to go with Trippier because you know that at least, if for nothing at all, Newcastle are likely to keep a clean sheet against Chelsea. They are
Chelsea.
capable
Okay.
of doing that because they are
Okay.
compact units. At the
Not
same
like
time,
Chelsea.
if worst comes to worst, and then let's say they even concede, one of the few defenders in the division, okay, in the Premier
Mhm.
League,
Mhm.
who you can bank your hopes on in giving you an attacking return, apart from
Okay.
Alexander Arnold, is
Okay.
Trippier.
Trippier.
All
Sure.
right,
Spot on. Okay.
Kieran Trippier. So you can have him in your team if your team is not looking
You
that
have to
good.
do. Okay. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So let's take the next two. So Crystal Palace and then Everton. The Everton games. Who are the
Yes,
key
this
guys? I know.
this this is
Okay.
where
The
I
two,
I am
this is
having
where the key games are. The two games are.
some juicy vibes here.
Okay. Okay.
I'm having some vibes here that this fixture would also produce goals. Nottingham
Okay.
Forest are safe, all right,
Okay.
in the
Mhm.
league because they got just promoted last season and they've managed to
Mhm.
escape relegation, so they are safe for now. But I don't think that they will down to. All right, I still believe that they will play at their maximum best. and
Okay.
they do well. And so I see
Okay.
goals in this. I don't think that it will be a one-sided affair, not at all.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I just tip Crystal Palace because of the home advantage to edge it over Nottingham Forest. So I'll predict a 3-2 scoreline.
Okay.
But this is where I see that you can get assets from both sides. And so I'm
Okay.
going to for Newcastle, sorry, for Nottingham Forest. All right,
Mm-hmm.
you can think about somebody like Morgan Gibbs White,
Right. Okay.
who is on red hot form. Charlie,
Charlie,
managers,
Charlie.
take a look at that guy, Morgan Gibbs White. If he
Okay.
doesn't score and Nottingham Forest scores are on the score, trust that he will be an assist or a provider
Sure.
to the
Sure.
goals. So you
Sure.
can think about Morgan Gibbs White. You can also think about Brennan Johnson. And then
Okay.
also the man of the moment for
The
Nottingham
man of
Forest,
the moment. The man of the moment. Taiwo.
Awoniyi,
I
the
want the
Nigerian
Charlie,
striker
Charlie, Charlie, Charlie,
from
Charlie, Charlie.
Union Berlin in Germany.
Good, 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 good.
Awoniyi.
Yes, good, 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 good,
And then
good,
when
good.
you go to Crystal Palace too, the one who is also in blazing hot form is Izzy, Eberechi Izzy,
Serious, serious.
without a doubt.
Charlie,
Eberechi
but
Izzy.
wait. What is wrong with the Nigerians? Oh, Bala have they go for their strikers are scoring all over Europe, in England, in France, in Italy. Baby, almost say good. Charlie, Bala no go nyas Bala whatever. What they should tell us so that our Ghanaian
I
strikers will
have
get
no
bright
idea.
now.
They seem to have this pool of talents. They are
Sure.
doing so well in Europe this season. Just
Yeah,
look at
sure.
Napoli. You can talk about
Osimhen.
Osimhen, Victor Osimhen. And yet,
Yeah.
when it comes together as a unit for their national side, I don't know what happens to them.
Oh,
They are
And
beaten
Ghana
by
sent them out.
just clubs like Sierra Leone
and,
and Guinea-Bissau and co like
and
and
Ghana will
stuff like
kick
that.
them out to go to the World Cup. I want
I
to
know,
remind
right?
them.
We kicked
They
them
kick
out and
them
went to the World
out.
Cup. And they never, up to now, they still never understand. You remember that Woto Woto expression?
Yes,
It
yes.
came from the when one of their fans, after they came to Cape Coast in Ghana and they drew
Okay.
against us 0-0, they were like, oh, they will beat us, Woto 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 Woto. And that we shouldn't even come at all because we didn't have strikers. And so they were willing to even lend to
Some
us
of
some
their
of their
strikers for
strikers
us.
if we so desired.
Okay. Not bad. Okay, good.
Oh, yeah. So
Everton,
for Crystal
Everton.
Palace, we can take a look at Eberechi Eze,
Okay.
Olise,
Mm,
and then Edward, Edson
okay.
Edward. And also, let's also not forget a pants in
Okay.
Jordan, our own Jordan Ayew.
Our
It
own
could
Jordan
also
are
be a
you.
pants. Our own Jordan Ayew could also be a pants
Ghana
if you want
Messi.
to take a pants on Jordan Ayew.
Okay. Everton Bournemouth.
Everton Bournemouth. Yes, this is another classic game that I think I'd also have a look at. Asset. Bournemouth has nothing to play for because they are safe in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have Solanke. I don't own Solanke for now, so I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't even go think about going in for him. I'd rather think of the Everton asset. If you have someone like say Pickford as your second goalkeeper,
Okay.
I'd probably
Maybe.
this is the game that you would fancy playing him because
Okay.
realistically they can keep a clean sheet. They
Okay.
are they are at the verge of getting relegated, and
Okay.
you can trust Sundash and his
Okay.
teams that they are very resilient and very robust to play against. Everton, I don't see Everton conceding against Bournemouth at home, especially
Okay.
when they are fighting for to stay up in the league.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so I rather see Everton win this game,
Okay.
no matter
Okay.
what, come what may.
Okay.
As to whether it's going to be goals, I would have been more confident if they had their top marksman in
DCL.
TCL. All right,
Mm.
good. DCL, Dominic Calvert Lewin,
Lewin. Yeah.
but he's injured.
But
Nevertheless,
I I I
trust
I
that
I
the
I, I,
likes of
I I think that if DCL is off, then Andy Gray,
yes,
Dimare Gray. I always call him Andy Gray. Dimare
Demar
Gray
Gray, and then
and
McNeil,
McNeil,
Iwobi,
Iwobi and
yes,
Co. But the point
and
is,
Co.
it's too unpredictable. There are some things you can tell that this will be a main guy. The only person I can say can be involved in attacking something would be McNeil because he normally takes the corners and set pieces.
Yeah,
That's a game. That
he's
is
on set
when you
pieces.
expect him to do yes as well. So
Yeah,
if you want to take a punt, my punt will give McNeil. Just that he does not give double attacks. But funny enough, last day you can give double attack. So
yeah.
you just wait and choose which will help you as well. Yes. Okay. So Leeds, Ignite was talking about Rodrigo. What do you think? So Leeds
Yes,
Spurs, what did you go?
yes. With Leeds are also fighting for their survival, and this is a home fixture against one of the top six teams in
Okay.
Spurs. Fortunately for them, Spurs has been equally woeful this season. they have shipped in a record high 62 goals in this
Okay.
league this season. Spurs have shipped in 62 goals, and that is very abysmal for a top side, a top six club to actually concede. And so I see Spurs conceding in this one, but as to whether they are going to lose or not, for that it's a KG encounter. It's a
Okay.
close call, but I think that Spurs would want to qualify for Europe,
Okay.
whilst it would also want to stay up. This is going to be a scoring draw. I
Okay.
see it 2-2. All right.
So Spurs,
Rodrigo,
you expect Kane to be involved in the goals.
yes, Kane
Leeds, you
definitely will
expect
be involved in the
Rodrigo.
goals. And if you want to punt on someone like, say, Son
Okay.
Heung-min, who last season actually shared the Golden Boot award with Mohamed Salah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he's also disappointed, massively let us all down this season. He's
Okay.
not coming before. But nevertheless, you can't take it away from it. Son can actually spring up a surprise in the final day of the season and then
Okay.
also be involved, heavily involved in the goals. But whatever the case may be, you can bank your hopes that as for Hurricane, Spurs are going to score.
And
Hurricane
Hurricane would definitely be part of the goals.
will definitely be involved in the goals.
One goal project. I'm
If
going
you want to punt,
back.
if you want to punt on Leeds assets, all right, we don't have Rodrigo because Rodrigo is injured.
No, I think he came to training this way today.
Oh,
So
okay.
from the press conference, the coach said that he did training and the signs are quite good. And the game is on Sunday. So if today, most likely, if we get some team
Oh, okay.
news that he will
Okay.
play,
And
then
if
it
that's
might be a very good option.
if that is the case, then you if there's a slight chance that Rodrigo gets to start, you can punt on him.
Yeah.
If he's not going to start, and let's say we have an early team news, okay,
Mm,
leaked into mainstream media or whatever it is, then
mm.
you can also punt on the likes of what's the name of their striker again?
Bamford is
Bamford.
injured. He's injured.
Bamford is injured.
That's the
So
funny thing. So, either
Rodrigo, you have
Senestera
Sinistera, you have
or
Tamaville, you have
yeah,
Nonto,
yeah, yes,
Nonto
maybe
or
but
Harrison.
they have plenty players, but they don't score the goals. That's the
Harrison.
funny
But
thing. I
but the
don't
point
know.
is that all these guys that we've just mentioned, of these last, you can't really tell which one of them would actually be
Sure,
consistent enough, to
sure.
have that high ratio of expectancy, both goals and assists. You understand? The only person we can actually bank our hopes on will be Rodrigo if you want to
Rodrigo.
punt on a base asset.
Sure. Okay.
That's what
So
I'll say for.
Leicester West Ham. Leicester need to win. Madison, Vardy, Harvey Barnes, here Nacho. Which two would you recommend among these four?
Yes, out of this four, if you want to punt on any of them, I'd recommend Madison is a non-starter. You can't is he's non-negotiable. Madison will be one out of the two. Then
Okay.
between Iheanacho and Vardy, whoever
Mhm.
starts gets the nod.
Okay.
And I'll say that in the previous game weeks, if that is anything to go by, then I'll go with Vardy.
Okay. I
But
I,
if
I
you want,
I think that last week they played both of them together.
yeah,
But I think it was because of the ideology against Newcastle was to rather contain and keep a clean sheet, like get a draw and then give the game against West Ham. So even though they played all the two together and they benched Madison and then Barnes, that's not necessarily a very clear cut team lineup. So as you are
yes,
saying,
that's true.
Buddy most likely start and Hanacho might come. So boys should be
Yeah,
quite. But sometimes the very funny thing is sometimes it's been seen that sometimes the most of the goals come in the second half. So the
yes,
players who rather play in the second half are the ones who come on and come and score because like we
score
need
the goals.
goals and they
Yes,
just come and hand. So sometimes even if Hanacho might come from the bench, when somebody come from the bench, come and score two goals, and Buddy who started would
that's
have
true.
just scored just one goal as well.
That's
So
true.
it's dynamics, team dynamics.
Yeah,
With
yeah,
Hanacho will play, Buddy will play, but the point is that the price gap is too big. So if maybe
yeah.
your team, because me, I'm taking a -8. I want to tell you, I'm taking a -8. We're like, hey, I don't see
That is
how it
true. So
feels.
if you don't have enough money in the bank, all right, good,
Mm,
and then you are considering, in terms of the when you are priced out of money, then in that case, Iheanacho will be a good punt to punt
okay,
on. All right,
okay,
instead of going Vardy, because Vardy I think would cost in excess of 9.1 million pounds, whilst
okay,
Iheanacho is somewhere in the region of 6.
Yeah, 6 million. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think Matthew GH is talking about the Haaland issue. Pep most likely will play his team first half and then the second half bench them so that he prepares them ahead of the FA Cup game against United because the games are 1 week interval. It's not like midweek game. So 1 week till the next one. So he'll play most of them. So Haaland most likely will play for 45 minutes as well. So just note that. I think we said that before you came as well. Then great. So Man U Fulham.
Yes, Man U Fulham. This is also another game that I know people have own assets here. There are a lot of people who actually have either doubled or tripled up on Manchester United assets. So
Mhm.
either they have a Bruno Fernandes or a Marcus Rashford or an Anthony or a
Mhm.
Luke Shaw or David De
Mhm.
Gea or whichever combination that they have.
So
And so already the
keep
assets
them.
that
Don't buy
you
new ones.
you don't have to buy new ones if you
Okay.
already have them. All right,
Unless you
you
don't
don't
have.
need to buy new ones unless maybe probably by virtue of let's say Rashford's injury last game week, you
Mhm.
transferred him out for another United assets. Like let's say in my case, when I transferred out Rashford for Anthony, and now Anthony is also injured,
Yeah,
so I
sorry.
need to do that transfer. Okay. Something told me don't do that transfer. Just how do you call it?
Go for your
roll the
bench.
transfer, roll the
Okay.
transfer to Game38 so that you could have two transfers to use.
Okay.
So that in the event that you even want to take an extra third, make an extra third transfer, you will
Sure,
just
sure,
take
sure,
a
sure.
-4 point hit. I didn't listen
Sure.
to my instinct. You know, when I did the transfer to it was just at the very last minute, just a minute or
Oh,
two before the deadline.
hey,
That was when I
hey.
brought Anthony Sharp
Sorry,
for
sorry, sorry.
thinking that I was being smart. You know, it was instead of going Bruno
Oh
Fernandes because
yes, he was. He
fans.
was.
I had the fans for Bruno Fernandes. You know, instead
Oh,
of going
sorry.
Bruno Fernandes, I didn't go for Bruno Fernandes. I instead went in for Anthony,
Yeah,
thinking that I was
sorry.
just outsmarting and beating the system because I wanted to do how to call it a differential, and now it has cost me.
It just cost you that. Okay, so that the United guys are quite clear. There's nothing
Yes,
really
they are
really
clear.
big there.
If you want to also
Liverpool.
punch on Fulham,
Okay,
Mitrovic is back.
he's back.
Vinicius will also
And
get a run.
in fact, Mitrovic is very annoying because he got his ban because of United boys. So most likely, he might
Yes.
want to pay them back.
Exactly. So you could also take a punt on Mitrovic or Vinicius
Mm,
or
mm. William, seriously.
William or Wilson.
Okay,
Okay,
okay, not bad, not bad,
Wilson,
not
Harry
not bad.
Wilson,
Harry Wilson, Harry
or,
Wilson, sure,
or that's their Israeli super sub called Solomon or
Solomon,
Salomon, I
yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
Solomon, sure,
Yeah.
good. Okay, so enough of United. Let's look at Liverpool. Liverpool, we are quite clear, strength and Salah. Who is the
Yes.
third asset that guys should look at?
Yes, if you want to probably focus on a third asset, you have a plethora of options. It all depends if Klopp is going to rotate his side out
Okay,
because this is going to be the last fixture in a Liverpool shirt for players like Firmino.
Firmino,
So I don't know
Milner,
what is in
okay,
Klopp's mind, whether he's going to probably give him a run in and make him start right from the onset and then probably take him off
okay,
and then bring him a
okay,
Jota or something, or he will start
okay,
with his strongest 11 by
okay,
playing Jota through the middle and then
okay,
maybe what's his name? Gakpo. So
okay.
for Liverpool assets, if you want that third asset, it will depend on who plays. So you can make your pick between Gakpo, all right, who will just edge it because I foresee him starting Gakpo,
Sure, okay,
all right,
okay,
Diogo Jota,
okay, okay,
or
okay.
Luis Diaz,
Or even
or
Bobby Firmino.
Bobby
Okay,
Firmino.
okay,
Yes.
but the fact is, the good thing about Liverpool is sometimes Liverpool team leagues come quite earlier because you have trusted sources like Spion, the Spion Cup of and then Anfield Index. So
Mhm.
we are quite much more. So when you get the news, do the Liverpool transfer fast before the
Yes.
server crashes, before you do later
Mhm.
ones as well. So managers should note about that. So that
Yeah.
is it right there. So Charlie, we've done a very this one. Take your time and watch it again tomorrow. There are no games tomorrow. Take your time, paper, pen and paper, and then write all the key players as well and then you're good to go. But we've mentioned all the key players you need to watch for each team. And it should be about dynamics of each. Sometimes you are trying to do a -4, but you need a punchy budget player from somewhere. So because you have given an option that you can buy maybe a Ganacho from here, or maybe an Eze from here, and a Lise from here, because sometimes it's the budget players that make your team do very well. So look at how the dynamics and then Charlie, it's all play all. Final day, take your risks. Get rich or die trying. Don't be too conservative. Unless you're in a very comfortable league. But comfortable is also dangerous. Dangerous. So
Yes,
Charlie.
that's true.
So let's look at your team, Prof. This is your team. I
Yes.
think your goalkeeper is not showing, but what are you trying to do this week? What's the plan for your team this week?
Yeah, so the goalkeeper that isn't showing is David De Gea, obviously. He's
Okay.
my number
Okay.
one goalkeeper. And
Okay.
then Manchester United are playing against Fulham at home at Old Trafford.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to still keep him in post
Okay.
because if I look at the options I have between David De Gea and then Everson, who is playing against West Ham, West Ham can likely score against
Okay.
Leicester. All right,
Okay.
although they'll be playing away. And so if between the two of them, I actually fancy United to keep a clean sheet.
Okay.
But either of them could actually concede anyways. So I'm not too much hang on that one.
So your
Now,
transfer.
yes, for my transfers, I see a yellow arrows on three of my players: Luke
Okay.
Shaw, Anthony, and then Willock.
Okay.
Willock definitely has been ruled out. He's not playing this
Sure.
game week. I'm sure Anthony is also going to miss
Yeah,
this
Anthony is
weekend.
going to miss. Yeah.
Exactly. So those are the two transfers basically on my mind. So it means that I'll have to take a point hit of -4. Then if
Okay.
there's ever the need to do any extra transfer, that would cost me a -8. All right. So I am thinking of a 3-4-3 formation.
Okay.
All right. So my three forwards would actually be the same as you
Okay.
see on the
Okay.
screen: Haaland, Wilson, and Alvarez, and just bank that Haaland starts and then does the damage within the 45 minutes or 60 minutes or whichever minutes
Okay.
that Guardiola
Okay.
Pep would give
Okay.
to play. And then
Mhm.
I know that I have an inkling or a feeling that Haaland would play alongside Alvarez, and that it will be KDB who would be rested. You know,
Okay.
anytime Pep rests KDB, he plays Alvarez.
Sure.
I don't know if you've noticed
Sure.
in
Sure. Sure.
recent.
Sure. Sure. It's true. It's true.
Yes.
It's true. It's true.
So if he gets to rest KDB, then it means that Alvarez gets to start. And once it starts,
Okay.
that would be a good thing for me. And I just hope against hope that both of them actually produces the goods and score. Alvarez will be my differential in the. I don't
Spot
have a
on.
hurricane. Bringing in a hurricane would cost me another
Too much.
extra
No.
minus.
It's not
But
worth it.
if I should get the team news that Haaland is not going to start,
Then
then
you
in
go to
that case,
Hurricane.
I'll trade Haaland for Hurricane
Okay.
quick, and then probably also trade off Anthony for one of my midfield pants
Okay.
in Eze from
Easy.
Crystal Palace. Yes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
basically, those would be the transfers that I would
Okay.
do. In the
So
absence
so
of,
so
if I don't do the Hurricane transfer, then it would be probably Eze and another midfielder.
most likely Madison or Barnes.
Most likely, it could even be an Arsenal asset.
Spot on. That's a very key point there. As
Yes.
now said, so Odegaard and stuff. So
Yes.
Charlie, I want to tell boys tomorrow. What I'm going to now read the matchups, see which side everything is weak at. Some teams are weak at their left flank or the right flank. So the teams weak at the right flank, choose the player at the right flank. Which so you look at all dynamics and make that. Even though it's not always correct, but it's better when you know a team is weaker at this side than the other side as well. So that's it. Some people are hoping that Mahaland will be benched so that the video will come into their team, actually. Sorry, okay. So that's Precious was able to generate, but Precious has generated last because he really did well. Precious has finally risen as well. So that's Precious for me. Then this is me. I had a small red arrow. I wanted to do 100k. Now I'm 20 points from 100k as at now. I'm planning on doing a -4 and -8. But the point is with the -4, if I do -4, means I'm now 24 points behind. How can I close the gap? But Charlie, maybe I'll just close my mind and just enjoy the game and forget about the 100k. My brother. But this is what Charlie, my Brighton guys are all going. They don't stay in the team. I must you miss Southampton, you couldn't give me points. Come on, Southampton. What is that? Who does that? These boys, I don't mind them. I don't mind them. So my point is most likely this. Oh, what really pay? I really kept Martinelli 3 weeks ago because I knew I would need him this week, and then Martinelli is injured. Don't worry. So Martinelli, Mitoma, McAllister, all those three are going. They are going for Eze, Odegaard, and then Ganacho if possible. If I want to do just a -4, but then otherwise I might have to sell Maris, which I don't want to do because I want Madison. Now my clear cut two transfer are Odegaard and then Eze. After that one, then I'll buy them. Whether leak or no leak, I'll buy them. So now the point is my third transfer, which is Madison. If I'm buying Madison, it means Madison. I cannot buy Madison from McAllister or Mitoma. So it means Mares has to go. That's going to be very tough. Now it looks like it's not even possible for me to buy Madison directly in one move from there. So I might have to maybe let Issa go and then buy Hanacho. So I'm more tempted to do the -8 because I want these are the 4 players I really want. Yes. But I'll think around it. I think a -4 is better than -8 because I want to close the gap. I want the 100k, 100k, 100k. I want the
Rank.
100k, 100k, the
Rank.
100k rank. So, but
Yeah.
I'll decide. I'll decide whether I really think is worth it or not. But let's see. But Charlie, but whatever it is, I'm going to do a -4. Worst case -8. And I'll do
Yes.
it. When I tell boys, I'll do it. That's why I wrote
You
my
know,
transfer.
just to interject, okay, last week,
No.
okay,
Mhm.
I told you earlier that I held off my, I was thinking of rolling my transfer, all right,
Yeah.
to game with 30 so that I could have two free transfers to do, all
Yeah.
right, because I had 3 players in mind, and 3 transfers in
Mhm.
mind, and which would actually leave me with nothing in the bank, actually
Sure.
0.00 exactly.
Okay.
And those
Mhm.
3 transfers were, Hurricane for Wilson, all right.
Mhm.
Then I'll just do 2 quick transfers of what's his name, Eze, and then um, Ganacho.
Ganacho.
All
Okay.
right, exactly. And that would have actually been exactly that amount. But because Eze had and now risen in price,
Rank. Okay.
it has priced me out of zero point 0.1,
That's
0.1.
the most
So
painful
the
thing
only
FPL.
route, the only route to Hurricane would be from Haaland to him.
No, 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 no. And
And,
that
and I
was not
can't do that.
possible.
You understand? That's a
Sure.
non-negotiable because as for Haaland, you must have Haaland in your team.
Sure.
Except if we get an early team news which says that Haaland is not going to start. Then
Sure.
in that case, I can take the pants and then bring in Harry Kane and then do my Eze, and that'll be it.
So as manager, I'm not doing defensive transfer. Just as proper advice. Don't
Yeah.
waste time and go and defend
No.
defensive
You don't
transfer.
need to.
Don't do. But
Myself,
Charlie,
it's just a matter of replacing Trippier with Shaw, and now I'll
sure.
be
Okay.
good to go.
Good. Now,
Yeah.
I know some people might want to captain Trent. What do you say about that?
Yes, I remember 2 seasons ago. Let me tell you this story. So apparently in a mini league, all right, I was actually leading for a very long time, for about 30 game weeks. I was on top.
Okay.
Then I think in the last, I think in game week 36, 37, United had 3 matches that they played. I don't know if you remember. It was during the socials time when
Okay.
after COVID and everything, and then we
Yeah,
had
yeah, yeah,
Greenwood.
yeah, 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 yeah. United played
That was
and they were scoring goals for
United's
fun.
first season and all that, and he
Yeah,
was on top. That
Greenwood
season,
was there.
even that Greenwood and Co. Exactly.
Yeah. Mm.
And that season, I actually forgot the deadline because United
Okay.
had 3 games, so the deadline
Okay.
was Thursday,
Okay.
and I had some exams and all that. So by the time I finished, now the deadline was passed,
Sorry,
and
sorry,
I
sorry.
had not captained Bruno Fernandes,
Yeesh.
and I had a triple captain chip too on someone else. I think
Oh,
I had not I'd updated my team. So it was from after that season's lesson that I realized that I always do a draft, captain
and put
whoever
it
I want to
down.
captain, or that I put it
Put it
down. Now
down.
just like just
So
in
that
case
in
I
case of
forget.
anything, it's always there. You're always
And
safe.
so the guy who was just behind me
Mhm.
used that occasion because he triple captain Bruno Fernandes, and Bruno
Shush.
Fernandes called three
Shush.
games, and it was all teary for me. And so the last game week, I was
Mhm.
chasing because it was just I think 2 points gap.
Okay,
So I needed
okay,
to do something. No, I think it was 6 points. So I
okay.
needed to do something. So what did I do? I captained Trent,
Trent.
okay,
Okay.
with the hope that Charlie Liverpool would score because it was a hope fixture and they will
Yeah.
win. And once they win, at least they'll keep a clean sheet.
And for
And Trent will
information,
get an
club
apple
benched him.
or return.
I want to tell you on that week, club benched him. Club bench
Yes,
Trent because
yes.
Trent was also the reason why I didn't officially I was number one in that year. I was conquered Ghana because
Oh,
club
okay.
bench my Trent and club played number two Robertson. So that was
Yes,
the four gaps point that I lost.
that was exactly what happened.
Sure. Okay.
Club bench Trent,
Okay.
and it was very terrible. It
Okay.
was very because I didn't also. You see, sometimes we take for granted even our vice captaincy. We always
Yes.
think that, oh, okay, the captaincy is all that matters. So
Sure.
once you captain someone or ask for the vice captaincy, you can just place it on anybody. No,
No, no, no. You never
sometimes
know.
you managers out there. Well, why or you should not only concentrate on the captain, but also your vice captain, so that in the
Nothing also.
event that probably your captain does not play or something like that, it will automatically reverse your vice captain, who might actually get you some points.
Spot on.
And it was
Spot on.
one of the biggest lessons I had to learn from
Learn,
FPL.
yes. We always learn. The good thing is that every time we learn as well. Charlie, if I want you, don't go and Captain Trent. He can do the job. But we don't want to see you crying when we meet at the FPL Ghana meets. The FPL Ghana meets on Sunday.
On
If I want
Sunday.
you, yes, 2 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. at the Benito's Pub at North Kanishi. It's on Google Maps as well. So you can just put on Google Maps. And everybody wants to go, please send me a WhatsApp message. You know what? Let me put your name on the list. So they reserve a sizable amount of area for us as well. So now the table, the FPL Ambassadors League. Roland, please, I'm telling you, wherever you are, host and win. Last year, we sat down and then this guy came to take the money. He also came to take the money. We said this year we are defending our own money. Nobody will take our money. So either Roland wins or I win. But anybody who wins aside us will get the money. But we are defending our own thing. We will defend it and take our money. Yes, you have to beat us. You cannot just come and take our money and go scot. We are defending very, very big time this year. But I've been counting my -4 and I've lost -64 points. That is just, my lessons from last season. Don't be doing too much -4. Do it only when necessary. So it's a lesson for Matthew GH as well. So add it to your point now. And let's see, Matthew, you are
You
here.
know, sometimes people go like they count the minus force, but you also
Uh-huh.
seem to forget that sometimes when you bring in a player and let's say the player also scores, you
They
you
forget
don't also
about that.
account for that okay,
Uh-huh.
you got him
Uh-huh.
-4 and probably he earned you 10 points or
10
12
points.
or
So
16 points.
that's plus 6 points or
That's
plus 10
plus
points.
exactly.
Yes. Uh-huh. So
So you don't look at
for
you don't
now,
always look at it that way.
I always want to see a rule. See, this top guy manager, but watch. Only do a -4 for a key player with a very good fixture. And that's a -8. Only do a -8 for a good captain. If you do you don't captain the player, there's no doing a -8.
Yes.
Only do a -8 for a very good captain in the team that you want. But this week, please try limit the -4. Unless your team is so sanquat that you need to do the -8 and do it. And if you have a free 38, Charlie, is good for you as well. But Charlie, as we have said, the captain, this is the week you can captain against Haaland. Not necessarily Haaland, but you can go either Salah, Harry Kane, Rashford, Bruno, and any of the
Yes.
Arsenal assets. So that's a key thing that managers should note. I think that I have not updated my team sheet, my fixture for this week. I think I still have my old fixture here as well. I'll just quickly update is there. But then, who do you think should be who your final? If somebody has just one shot, who should be the captain this week? Who would you go
Mo
for?
Salah for
Mo
me
Salah.
personally. Mo Salah.
Okay,
I'm not going Haaland. I'm going a
Mo Salah.
differential in Mo Salah.
Mo
Exactly.
Salah.
Because
Okay,
I see Mo Salah returning. He's not going to
okay,
blank. Definitely
okay,
he's
good.
going to be involved in the goal first, the goal
Okay,
harvest, the mauling
okay.
of Southampton to say bye-bye
Ah,
to the Premier League. Because they
Europa
both
for
trust.
Europa Liverpool club is crying. Oh, but it's all good. But the fact of the matter is that this is a very good. And Charlie want to say a very big thank you to boys, guys who have been with us all throughout from preseason. Normally we always start like one month to preseason before we come, and they've been with us all through to the season. We went to the World Cup. We went on some 2 short breaks as well, and then it has been good. I want to say thank you so much for the support that you are giving on to us, and we will definitely meet on Sunday at the Benitez Pub at North Candicia. They are waiting for us. They have a special place for us. Come, let's eat, let's drink, let's have fun, let's share ideas, and then let's see who would definitely be crowned the champion. New York Cyber man, come this year, come to the show. Don't hide. We want to tease you. Come and let's tease you. The FPL Express will be there. I'll be there. We might even have the person who in Ghana this year also there. Ignite will also be there. Everybody will be there as well. So thank everybody so much. I want to say that the FPL Ambassador show is brought to you by myself, Raymond Nketsiah. Rowland is caught up by work. I'm also caught up by work. But today we have Prof Akoto. Prof, give us a Twitter handle so that guys can follow you as well. And then we end it very well, guys.
Well, well, my Twitter handle is it's just Inokakoto. Yes, my name. So
Akoto. Okay.
that's
Okay.
exactly that's
Okay.
my Twitter handle.
That's what that's okay. Great.
Facebook same. It's
Okay.
Instagram, but it's Prof Akoto.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Okay,
But
great.
managers, what I would
Okay.
say is that make sure that you lock your teams at least 15 minutes before the deadline.
At least 15
Right?
minutes. No way.
15
Nobody's
minutes
coming and
before the
crying
deadline.
to us. So no, I'm not
Don't come
person
and
me
cry
we
and
and
blow to us
we and
and cry bucket that, hey, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I didn't do that. FPL site had crashed and all that has crashed and all that. We don't want to hear any of your groans and your wails and all of
ah.
that.
Okay.
Make sure that
Somebody
you do your transfers. At least if there are 3 transfers you plan to do, if you're confident about it, by, let's say, the deadline will be 2 o'clock, right, in the
2 o'clock,
afternoon,
yeah, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, yeah.
GH time, yes, Ghana time, which will be 3 in UK time.
UK, yeah.
So make sure at least by 1:30, 1:45 ish, you would have done your
Damn it.
transfers, done your first 11 selection, and arranged your
I write
subs
everything down.
exactly in that order. Make sure
Yes.
you also pay particular attention to your captaincy and then your vice
Vice
captaincy.
captains,
And
sure.
then you can then do your other, co-meetings and everything. Start
Communities there.
listening
So
to,
you there set
watching the
everything up.
YouTube content creators, reading feeds from Twitter and all of that, for
Sure.
the early team news and all what have you.
Sure, sure,
And then
sure, sure.
if you think that there are some slight tweaks you have to do
There you
or
go.
adjustments you need to make in your team, then you can do that. If not, and probably the site crashes, you're also well and good to go.
Don't come and cry. Oh, we've given you the tips. So
I know, right?
as you are preparing for good things, prepare for bad things as well. Know how you adjust
Exactly.
those as well.
And be
But Charlie,
daring. Be daring.
yes,
Go for
be
the
there.
pants.
Charlie,
Don't
get
don't
get rich or die trying. Give the tips.
exactly.
Get rich or die trying. And
Mhm.
funny enough, Matthew GH in the sixth position for the league has taken a shot. He said that he is going to win. He's going to close the 24 gap to Rowland. So Rowland, watch out. Matthew GH has given you warning. Said Charlie, he's going to win. So Sunday, so we'll see how it is. But Charlie, guys, thank you very much, Prof. Thank you very, very, very much for making it for us. And we are very Charlie, guys. Me, you know me. Game a season, we have to do a review. So we'll do a review as well. So there,
Sure.
when we meet on Sunday, we'll tell guys as well. We just review it.
All right.
Reviews are important because it helps you to know your mistakes as much as -64, and then we plan. Sometimes you just need to go cool off and then come and do a review before we come back next season. So, but Charlie,
Exactly.
and if you know anybody who can link us to TV, want to bring our test, you want to come on TV. So if you know any TV station that you can come on, Charlie, link them. Bring Charlie. Somebody should mention our name in high places. Charlie,
I know, right?
Charlie, do it for us. You are the ones
I
who
know,
are doing
right?
it for us, and then we'll see how it will be. So, Charlie. So we'll meet God willing on Sunday as well. Everybody, come with your jerseys. Come with your side. Hey, not side chicks. Come with your girlfriends. Come with your wives. And then we'll see how it
And by the way,
goes.
can I give shout out to
Sure,
some people here? So
sure.
massive shout out to Tactical OCD. Victor
Aguero.
or Aguero all the way in the UK.
Sure,
Shout out also to Eva Sampabin.
sure.
Ignite the fire. Next
Yeah,
season, we are
yeah,
igniting
yeah,
the fire. All right. Shout out to
yeah.
also Alfred. Okay, Alfie.
Sure,
This
sure.
guy is really a ton. He's almost in all the mini leagues that I'm in. He's the one on top of the mini leagues.
Then
And
you
at a point in
join
time,
us for our review.
at a point in time, he was second in the whole of GH. Then he dropped to
Wow.
sixth. But I
Oh,
think with the scores that he got from the United assets, I'm sure he
Okay.
would have moved up a bit
Okay.
in the whole Ghana
Then
ladder. So he's
Alfred, win
fighting
for
for
us.
the top.
Win for us.
Alfred,
We
Alfred
are gunning
Osei,
for you. We are gunning for you. We are gunning for
Lagos,
you.
we are gunning for you.
Shall I do? Bring the
Yes,
trophy
and then
home. Bring the trophy
Albert
home.
Osei as well.
Sure.
John, what's his name? Addicted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zelik, Yemi,
Yeah.
Nab, all of you guys. Shout out, massive
All
shout
of
out to
them.
you guys, and then Talala,
Salala, sure.
massive shout out to you guys.
Massive shout out to my able designer one, Rowland Ekuban. He's the one that's our designs for us, our
Oh,
thumbnails.
okay, that's
He
good.
always does it out for us, our co-host as well. He does it for us. And then massive shout out to my wife, my one and only wife, Charlie. You know, I nearly gave up on FPL this season. It was Rowland and my wife who decided to bring me back when I was going
You
on
know,
my
since
FPL
you've
break.
you've talked
Charlie.
about your better half, let me also give massive shout out to my
Okay,
wife as well.
okay,
She's been
okay.
supportive. She's been very, very supportive. For the very first time,
GG.
she's also appreciated FPL, and she sometimes
Okay.
reminds me, sometimes teases me a little bit, especially when I go against her land and I don't captain him, and then he hauls. He's made it fun. So massive shout
Sure,
out to her as well,
sure, sure,
Debbie,
sure, sure.
and then massive shout out
Sure.
also to our very own good friend Kwame Yanda.
Come Yanda, yeah. Come
He was
Yanda, come Yanda.
targeting being number one in GH.
Yeah. No,
Unfortunately, he
Kwame
fell
has
off
some
the cliff.
issues this year, so
Let's
I
let's
fact is,
exactly, let's
I want to
bounce back
say
better
Kwame
next
Yanda
season.
is going to win one of these years.
I
He
know,
will
right?
even win worldwide.
We are
Charlie, that
all
guy
going to
is
gun for
really
the title next season.
sure,
There's going
sure,
to be
sure, sure,
massive.
sure, sure. So we'll meet on Sunday. See you guys then.
See you guys.
All the best then. Okay, Prof.
All
Bye
right.
then.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much for having me.
Bye.